So in the last lesson we looked at the actual chord progression for the 12-bar blues in A. We had a go at it playing single notes and then playing chords. So make sure you're familiar and comfortable that at least you've got that progression, the order of it in your head before we carry on, because otherwise you're going to be trying to learn two things at once. So if you haven't got that, back to the last lesson, make sure you're comfortable with that before moving on, otherwise you're not going to get the full benefit of this. So what I'm going to do now is introduce a very basic 4-note riff. It's going to be a movable riff, which means that we're going to learn it in one position on the guitar, and then we're going to use the same pattern and play it in different positions. So if you think about the progression, it's a 12 bar, each bar has got its own chord. So the first bar, for example, is A, second bar is A, third bar is A, fourth bar is A, fifth bar is D. So that's why we needed to learn that first, so we know for each bar which chord letter we should be playing. So in terms of the riff, our first bar is in A, so we're going to learn the A position of the riff first. There's only 4 notes to learn. To start off with, we're going to play the 5th fret of our E string, our 6th string. That's going to be the first note of our riff. Then we're going to play the 7th fret of our A string. And then we're going to play the 5th fret of our D string. And then staying on the D string, the 7th fret of the D string. 4 notes there. And we're going to call that the A position riff. So before we go any further, practice those notes. 5th fret on your E, 7th fret on your A, 5th fret on your D, 7th fret on your D, and be comfortable with that in time with your metronome. That pattern, once we've learned that pattern, we've got it into our fingers, we're going to use that same pattern and we're going to play it in slightly different positions to make up the entire contents of those 12 bars. So just to play that particular one in time, I'll use a metronome again rather than the backing track. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get that one down, comfortable and nailed before moving on. And as I say, that's going to be our A position pattern. Now, obviously from the 12 bar progression, we've got an A, we've got a D, and we've got an E. So all we're going to do is play that same pattern, but as I say, we're going to move it into different positions on the guitar to cover those different chords when they come up. So in our example, the first 4 bars are A, so I'm going to play that 4 times. I've just played it, so I won't bother doing it again. After that, on bar 5, we have to play a D. Now, we're going to play this riff in the D position. In order to do that, all I'm going to do is everything I've just learnt there and just showed you, I'm going to move it across a string. So rather than starting on my low E string, I'm going to start on my A string, same fret, so 5th fret of my A string, then 7th fret of my D string, 5th fret of my G string, and finally 7th fret on my G string. So that pattern, it's the same pattern but played in what we're going to call the D position, is going to sound like. Sounds different than our original A position. So we've got that pattern now in 2 different positions. You're going to need to remember those. It's the same pattern, the same movement of fingers, but starting from a different place on the guitar. The final one, we've not mentioned the E yet. The E position, we're going to take that second one that we've done, the D position, so the one that starts on the A string. That one, we're going to play that same pattern, but we're going to start off everything, we're going to move up 2 frets. So we're going to play 7th fret on the A string, 9th fret on your D string, 7th fret on your G, and then 9th fret on your G. So the E position riff is going to be like this. So now, using that same pattern, we've got 3 little riffs in different positions that we can use to play that entire 12 bar sequence. So I'll play it through as it sounds with a metronome, so you can hear how it sounds in context. But as I said before in the video, make sure you've got that basic pattern down, even if you just keep practicing it in the A position, the first position. Don't have to do it this fast. Always do it what's comfortable for you. If you slow it down, that's fine. As you know, you can always add the speed later, but we want nice clean notes and we want to be playing the right notes. So I played at 100 before, I'll play at 100 now, and I'll play those 3 different patterns in order with the 12 bar blues sequence in A, so that you can hear what it sounds like, just along to the metronome. Change the D, back to our A position, up to our E, down to D, A, and finish on the E. Slow your metronome down if you want to, just to get it into your hands, and you'll be surprised how easily you learn it and be able to get it up to whatever speed you want to get it. I can do the same thing on the backing track. I won't play right through, but just to show you the start of it. Start with the A position, 4 of these, then we'll change to my D, and so on and so forth. Again, I'll share the backing tracks with you so you can practice along to your metronome or your backing tracks at various tempos. So from the video for this particular lesson, we'll get this simple 4-note riff covered, so that you can play it through all of those positions. I don't mind what speed you're playing it at. Take it down to 80, 60 if you want to. Makes no difference. But in the next lesson, I'm going to be adding a little bit more difficulty to the riff. So make sure that you're comfortable with doing this one before skipping to the next one, because otherwise, again, you're not going to be getting the maximum learning experience. So we'll spice it up a little bit next time, but for the meantime, get this one down over the 12 bar pattern, and just in case you can't remember what you need to do every time, enjoy.